And what is happening, Pewter peeps? Welcome to the Pewtercast post game here on this Monday night, as we have officially wrapped up Week 11 of the NFL's regular season with a little bit more of a smiley and happy show than we have seen over the last couple of weeks. Steve Carney, Ren Steve here with you as always, and this is, of course, the show where you get the opportunity to give us your thoughts on this game. First off, Ren, it's Monday night. I'm sure you're really looking forward to that early morning wake up tomorrow.
I know. I wake up at 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah. So it's going to be butt.
So good night, everybody.
I have a feeling that one of these days it may end up going that way, and it just may be me and the listeners here.
Nah, job's not that hard.
There you go.
I really don't have to be that alert.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So let's start. I want to get your overall thoughts on the Buccaneers finishing, or I should say, snapping their 2-game losing streak with a 30-10 win over the New York Football Giants at Raymond James Stadium.
Well, finally, right?
Yeah.
Like the team did what we thought they were going to do to the Saints, or maybe not so bad, but definitely against the Washington football team. I think they played well. I think they're a little frantic somewhere. I thought the play calling was great in the beginning. It was creative. It was up tempo. They went no huddles, bang, 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 bang. And then, of course, the defense lets the other team score, because that's kind of what they do. They rarely do a 3-and-out. They always kind of let the other team answer, but it's a Giants, so you're not too worried. Then we went down and scored again or something, and then Mike Evans puts one off his shoulder pad, and the Giants get a whole 5-yard touchdown, and it's like, okay, here we go. But I was okay. I was cool with that. I'm like, we're gonna win. It may not be the blowout that I thought. But I think each team only had the ball like 3 times in the first half. Like when the Bucs had the ball the second time, I think it was the end of the first quarter. So the Giants only got the ball 1 time in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that kind of game. A couple of penalties that kind of, one especially right before halftime, where Godwin gets it down to the 1-inch line.
And Tristan Wirfs is called for holding.
And Tristan Wirfs called for holding. Then we come out at halftime, stop him, and then we do like a 30-yard screen pass to Fournette. And Mike Evans said, the illegal formation. And then they're like, huh? They showed the replay. I don't know what they're talking about. But, that was, but we ended up going down and scoring anyway. So,
yeah.
I still would have liked to see Mike Evans fed the ball a little more, but I understand. Bradbury was probably their only player they had out there on the back end. And woof, did Zach not warn us enough about the Giants' offensive line? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was you can't win. I don't care who you got back there. You can't win with that. Will Hernandez might have had, that was Caleb Benenoch, type of game. He had, 3 holding penalties and gave, 4 sacks. It's like, that is bad. It doesn't get any worse than that.
The last time I don't think an offensive lineman has had a game as bad as Will Hernandez's game tonight since Kenyatta Walker was in the league. That's how long it's been since we've seen that bad of an offensive line, a singular offensive lineman have that play. And really, apart from the touchdown that Andrew Thomas caught in that 5-yard drive after the interception,
which I lost, $10 for on. I had Daniel Jones throwing the no TDs.
Oh. And you almost had it. If it wasn't you almost had except for the fat guy touchdon.
I was thinking, I'm like, does it count if it goes to a tackle?
I think the best Carmen Vitale immediately afterwards put up. I had never heard it called the thick 6, but that's fantastic.
I've never heard it called that either, but I like it.
That was awesome. I was like, oh, that's great. I love it because usually we just call it fat guy scoring, which is something that you don't see very often. But other than that, I was really I thought that for having not played since week 1, Sean Murphy Bunting, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
I think he had the one pass interference early, and then they had the other one that got picked up because rightfully so, SMB was looking at the football, and and he and the receiver just got their feet tangled up with each other. So I was really impressed with how Sean Murphy Bunting played.
Mm-hmm.
How about the oldest player on defense in the National Football League getting an interception,
making a very athletic play? No, he hit him in the nuts with it.
I know.
He was either going down for the count or he was getting an interception.
Yeah.
But I did win that bet. Daniel Jones
throwing an interception.
So I won that bet. So that was nice. I have to look and see what I won. I made like 7 prop bets.
I mean, for Monday night, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the prop bets because those are always a lot of fun. And we'll talk about some of the prop bets that Ren made here in just a couple of minutes. The link, if you're watching us live on YouTube, is there in the comments. So you definitely want to click on that. That will take you backstage, and you can then get put on with us and give us your thoughts. I was impressed with the offensive. You talked about the offensive play calling early.
Yeah.
I liked that they got like 6 or 7 different receivers involved early because you saw Gronk, you saw Brait, you saw O.J. Howard, you saw Godwin, you saw Mike Evans, you saw everybody get involved early.
Or Goodwin, as Steve Levy liked to call him.
Oh man, you know what? I hope.
You figured they would have corrected him after the first one.
I know it's like no, this is not. You're not watching Pittsburgh, Steve. There's no Goodwin on this team. It's Godwin. It's kind of like when broadcasters for so many years would say the Devil Rays. It was like, nope, that's a donation to the Rays Baseball Foundation. I think anybody that calls Chris Godwin Goodwin should have to give a donation to the Glazer Family Foundation.
Yeah, because they need it.
Yeah, like they need it. Or just donate it to Metropolitan Ministries then.
How about donate? Give it to me.
Yeah, the Ren's Gambling Fund.
Yes, there you go. My Bet US shrinking lottery pool.
There you go. Mine actually went up this week, which I'm very impressed with.
Nice, yeah, mine did too.
So I'm very happy with the way that my bankroll is rolling there with BetUS. Of course, BetUS.com is the official sponsor of the PeterCast, and we'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. I see you have been a little busy, so I'm guessing that there are already people. Are there people lined up? Because I can't see.
Oh, I sent you a private chat.
Oh, I just saw it.
Yeah, there are 2 there.
All right,
we have Kyle and we have Richard. Richard seems to be with like 3 or 4 people. I can't exactly tell. Yeah, I think he's with there. So I know Kyle, you got in first. Kyle's a longtime listener, always sends us super chats. So for all of that, you get skipped because I want to bring in Richard and his buddies. Love you, Kyle. And see what they have to do. So let me fix the banner.
Yep. So this is part of the not that one.
Not that wrong.
Not that one either.
Okay, here we go.
All
Boom.
Right, so
there we are.
Baby!
What's up, guys?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. West Coast Bucs representing all the way to the West Coast.
All right, who do we got here? What's going on? Tell us what's up.
What's up, guys? So, I'm Richard.
Hey, Richard.
I comment on you guys once in a while.
Oh yeah.
This is Anthony right here.
Woo, baby!
This is Alex.
West Coast Bucs Club right here.
All right.
And David right here.
Ooh.
Ah,
All right, where are you guys? Obviously on the West Coast, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're in LA.
All right. Well,
We're in Pico, California. But
There
we're
you
also not that far from LA.
Okay.
LA County. LA
All right. Well,
County.
tell us what you saw. Tell us what you like. Like, let's hear it.
Okay. What I didn't like is all the field goals because we could have scored so many more touchdowns, at least 3 more.
Right.
And considering everything that's been going on with the Bucs losing 2 in a row, like it was dominant fashion. I'm very happy for the win,
Right.
but we could have done more.
Yes.
We could have done more. One thing I do want to highlight is that we are now starting to see Devin White becoming that postseason Devin White that we saw last year.
Very true.
Yeah. He's
He had a
definitely
very
stepped
good-
it up after the bye.
You had a very good night.
Even though has tried to kill $2 in 2 weeks, like he's the guy that gave D. Delaney the concussion. I don't know if anybody saw that last week, but he absolutely crushed D. Delaney, knocked him out, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he tried to kill Sean Murphy Bunting tonight too. Just ran, Sean Murphy Bunting threw like Tony out of bounds, and here comes Devin White like a second and a half later and just blast SMB right in the back. But you're absolutely correct. He's making plays. He's showing up. I think it's helped that tonight with Sean Murphy Bunting back, they didn't rely on him so much to drop back in coverage all the time. And it gave him, so he didn't have to sort of like, and you saw it on the replay. One time Greasy talked about it where, look, it was like a draw play, and Devin White's already backing out of the play. That's kind of what have been doing early on because the secondary was so banged up. But you're absolutely right. He's starting to look a lot like he did in the playoffs, which is of course great because he really turned the corner, especially in coverage.
I just feel honestly that if we have Devin White and we also have Levante David, Strong, and Holt in our middle, we'll be set. We'll be ready. We're good to go.
And I don't know, as far as Brady, man, I see Brady a whole lot more focused than the last game that we played against Washington. I don't know, he seemed out of focus or something, but today he seemed like he was so focused, on point on everything. So
Oh
I
yeah,
love
10
Brady.
for 10 to start the game. You gotta love seeing that. And Ren has talked about that a lot. That when Brady gets out and has a strong start like that, and it's going to be very
over.
tough. It's very tough to beat the Buccaneers when Brady is going that well early.
Yeah, when he starts double clutching, in games,
That's when you start pooping your pants.
Yeah, that's when you start like, okay, this is not going to be the cakewalk that we hope it's going to be. But like Steve said, he came out firing on all cylinders and got everybody involved. And that touchdown was like kind of like the Falcons game. It was just like boom, like no negative plays, no penalties, like nothing went less than like 7 yards. It seemed. It was like boom, 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 boom. Okay, 7-0. Here we go.
And when he ran for that first down.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, my God. He was
The
just-
look on his face when I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys caught that.
Yeah.
The look on his face is like he had the determination. I mean, it was like there, everything. I love that Brady. That Brady right there. I wish we could have every single time we play.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
my
Brady,
God, it was
the
awesome.
Brady that spiked Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Yeah, he did. He could, that front foot was like 4 feet in the air. Like he was not.
I've
He
seen
was
that.
not. He was not letting that guy jump on him. He was not letting that guy touch him at all.
Yeah,
That was
totally
was
went
full
Cobra Kai.
soccer.
He totally went Cobra Kai on him.
Cobra
Sweeping the leg.
Kai.
Brady sweep, man. We're going to call it Brady sweep. The goat
Sweep the leg.
Weep the leg.
Yeah,
No
oh,
mercy.
yeah.
No mercy.
All right,
No
so
mercy.
Hey, speaking of no mercy, man, like Mike Evans being the Bucs all-time.
Oh yeah,
all-time
baby.
record for touchdowns.
72.
yeah,
And when
Bro, for Mike Allstar to be there and for him to see that
Yeah.
one of the all-time greats, I feel like Mike Evans is always going to be a legend to the Bucs, and for him to see it be done by an all-time great is like fucking amazing.
I think by the time Mike Evans retires, he'll be considered by this generations of fans the best Buccaneer ever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because us old schoolers, like when we saw Leroy Selman, we were like 8, 9. A lot of the people that can really appreciate it are dead. Then you got, and then you got the next generation of the Brooks, Sapp, Lynch, Barber type of people. But Mike Evans, like you can just point to the record. When he's done, he's going to own every record we have. You know, so
Even when we were like at our like deadest, even when we had like the most fucked up record, Evans was the one who still, no matter what, had the fucking record,
He was
had
rel-
the fucking points,
He was Mr.
had
Reliable.
the fucking yards, had the fucking. He was Mr. Reliable when even we couldn't even depend on anyone.
yeah. And I think he deserves it. I think getting that record tonight solidifies him in the Mount Rushmore of Buccaneers.
Oh, definitely, hands down, man.
Oh,
No question about it.
So who would
already
you guys who would be your 4?
Oh, Mount Rushmore. Okay, we start out. Richard, go for it.
Wait. Okay, the 4. Who's the top 3 in right now? So we would say.
It's you. It's your own personal list.
Yeah, your own person.
Okay, so obviously Allstott's up there. You got to have Rondé. You got to have Derek. You got to have Brooks. And
That's a tough one.
Mike Evans is really making.
Wait.
But
Okay.
Selman as of right now.
Before we
Selman
answer
for
this
now.
question, are you asking about current Buccaneers? Or are you
I'm talking
asking about
if
former-
I'm all-time Buccaneers. That's what Mount
we're on all
Rushmore is.
time.
All time.
Like,
Oh.
it's all time. So, look, Mike Evans is making a really good case right now. We got to wait until his career is done for us to say for us to solidify his spot.
But the nominee of Mike Evans is up there. Like, I mean, he's
in line.
He's there, yeah.
He's
there.
in line, but for sure it has to be Leroy Selman.
I'm carving him in there already, boys.
I'm shocked you put Allstott in there.
Carving him in already.
I like it. I know. Look, Allstott is just a beloved.
Yes, he's a fan favorite.
Yes.
He's a fan
Everybody
favorite.
will love Mike. Mike does not belong up there. 'Cause
I'm with
to
Steve
me,
on this.
To me, it's
Who you gonna take? Who you taking out?
I'm taking Allstott out for sure.
No, I mean, but okay. Who you keeping out?
Leroy.
No.
Mine is Leroy, Warren Sapp, Brooks, and Mike Evans.
Yeah, I think that's mine too. And I hate Warren Sapp. I don't want Warren Sapp to
I
be
do
up
too.
there.
I don't like him
hate
either.
Warren Sapp.
Too, man. I hate with a passion, man. But I mean, I can't put him up with Rushmore. No way, man. I can't, man.
Gotta put him up. Gotta put him up there with his dip. With his dip in. If he's going up there, he's going in there with his dip and his stupid towel, and he's gonna be spitting all over everybody.
And a fishing rod.
Oh my
Don't forget
God.
his fishing rod.
If I took Sapp down for personal reasons, I would have to put up I probably would put up Doug Williams, and that's more of a crush, like like a fan favorite for me, like the Allstott thing. So it would be Leroy, who
Gonna
always has to
Put
be
a
up there.
Broderick Thomas or Alvin
No,
Harper.
let's not be ridiculous. Sammy Piscatelli.
Oh, Sammy Biscatelli.
Roberto Bayo. Yeah.
I was a big Ron Holmes fan back in the day.
Gaines Adams represent.
Oh no. Okay.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Rest in
peace. All right. Okay. So, what else did you like out there? How the secondary do? How do you think the defense did? We've talked Brady. We've talked White. What else you got?
I feel that personally, our secondary hold it down because if you really think about it, Daniel Jones has thrown a lot of fucking long passes, and he's actually thrown a lot of concrete passes. So when it came down to it, our secondary was able to hold it down to where he could even look in that secondary direction because it was so hard. And now on top of that, our defense was so strong to where they were holding him down and they were keeping him on his toes. To where I was like, okay, let me look down. So, oh shit, I can't even fucking look down. So I gotta run now. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I feel like they had him on his toes to where he didn't even have a chance to look down the field. If he even had a chance to look down the field, I feel like he would have been screwed either way.
Besides that first drive, and they're doing their best scripted plays, so a lot of teams score on their first drive, and I get that. But after that, I think they completely shut him down. I think Bowles' defensive plan was really good today.
Yeah, the only reason why they had that touchdown is because, unfortunately, Mike Evans couldn't make that catch. It fell into the wrong hands. At the 5-yard line.
I mean, I'm sorry, I meant the first drive where they went down the field.
Yeah. Where they
It was
scored
like
the field goal.
Yeah, scored the field goal. I think it was like 18 plays or something stupid. It was a long ass drive. But after that, like they were scraping for anything they could get.
I was really nervous that after that first drive. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Are they going to have another 20-play drive that's going to get somebody hurt out there? And then when they finally were able to get the stop for the field goal, I was like, all right, I don't feel too bad now. It's a bad play, but Jesus, I'm like, you got to start getting some short drives, short times on defense. You're going to get everybody killed out there.
Does bring up a good point in chat. Tryon, we haven't talked about him. He was a monster tonight.
JTS, baby.
JTS,
Just throw
good. There's just something about JTS though, where he just needs to just at the very last second, where he needs to just go inward or something to really solidify the sack.
That's something you learn.
He's almost there.
He's almost there. Exactly.
Just remember, he's only 22. This is, he's only 10 games into his NFL career. So give the kid some slack. Next year, you're going to see some really good stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure. Another off season for him. I mean, sky's the limit. That's for sure, bro.
Yeah, I thought everyone played well tonight. I thought Ronald Jones finally. I felt like I haven't seen him in a month. When he got in, he looked good. Showed off his speed. Showed off, about when Gronk was collapsing the edge. Jones had the speed to take it outside and the vision to take it outside, which was also a little surprising. But he did it on first down and got like 9 yards. I thought he got 10. He did it on the touchdown. I think he did it one other time. So I thought everyone looked good tonight, except for maybe Tyler Johnson. I was surprised that Perryman got more targets than Tyler Johnson tonight.
I agree. Every time I saw the number, I thought it was Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
Perriman. I'm like, oh crap! I forgot he's here.
And how about Brashad Perriman going full Brashad Perriman and having a ball go off of his hands in the end zone?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, some things never change.
And that's why you're on your 7th team.
Some things never change. Hey, Joey, in our comments talking about Ali Marpet's injury. That's, I think, something that we may have to certainly look at. Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to Aaron Stinney for how great he was to fill in.
That's why I love the fact that how Tom Brady works, because Tom Brady also works out the fact that when it's also the time for him to break or when it's time for him to train, he also has other people train or other linemen train. So just in case if something happens, they're already set. So that's why I feel like he was already set, because when we felt like he called in, I was like, oh shit, like, are you sure that he can handle? But as soon as we saw him, he was able to handle his shit. He was able to handle the pressure, handle it, and be able to let Tom Brady do his thing and keep going the way he wants to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Stinney proved last year during the playoffs and the Super Bowl run when he was filling in for Kappa that he's kind of like Kevin Minter. Like, when Minter comes in for like Levante David or Devin White, he's not gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and you're really not gonna miss that other person until they come back, and then you remember how good they were. It's like, really didn't miss Levante David because Minter didn't really get burnt. He didn't give up any touchdowns. You didn't see him miss a big tackle. But then Levante David came back, and you see like, oh, a forced fumble and 2 tackles for loss. Like, oh yeah, it's like, that's why you're the starter. And I kind of feel it's the same thing with Stinney. Obviously, it's not going to be as obvious unless he has like a Will Hernandez game, because Jesus, man. But I think Stinney proved that he's going to be fine, and I'm not really worried about the interior part of the offensive line as long as Stinney's there. If someone else goes down, then we might have to change the whole offensive philosophy to be able to keep Tom Brady clean.
It felt good to see Gronk in there, because if Gronk wasn't in there,
what a difference maker that guy is.
As we did. But to see Gronk in there, like, I felt like the Giants were like, oh shit, he's here, so that means that we have to like be on our toes a little bit more. But even then, like I said, if Gronk wasn't there, I felt like it wouldn't be able to open up our run game. But because Gronk was, it was like, all right, we can open up our run game because they're gonna follow Gronk and they're gonna have 2 coverage on Gronk, so that gives us a little more run game, and that gives us a little more to get a first down.
Just wait till next week when all those throws to Perryman are going to AB.
But
Yeah.
the other thing, going back to Gronk, is you see the level of comfortableness that Brady has when he's there. It's like his best friend's there.
Yeah.
He just plays with a whole lot of confidence, like a security blanket.
It's a security blanket.
Everything. He just
100%.
sounds so much more calm and effective when Gronk's on the field, and you can tell right away.
Well, and also, like, Brady's never lost 3 games in a row.
Yup.
I haven't
You could
either.
Right?
It's true.
It's
So,
true.
like, he wasn't gonna lose this game. At least it wasn't gonna be on him. So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I had no worries we were gonna lose this game. Like, you know, it was like we lost to the Saints. That sucks. You know, it's because it's the Saints. It's, you know, Sean Perryman called a good game. Sean Payton called a good game. And you know, we didn't really help ourselves too much. I didn't like our offensive game plan that much at all. And then with Washington, it was just a goddamn, you know, it was just sort of like everything that could go wrong went wrong in the first half. And then
Absolute debacle.
yeah, and then the second half, we were fighting back, and we were all in position to win the game, and then the defense just couldn't get the goddamn ball back. You know, I felt if we had one more drive, like, you know, if defense could have stopped them with no points somewhere in that 19-play drive, that we were going to win the game. And, you know, so things happen type of deal. And then the Giants, it was just, you know, it's like the game went the way I thought it was, you know, like 10 points. I didn't think the Giants were going to score a touchdown. Like, I didn't think they were going to score a touchdown. It took an interception on the 5-yard line for them to get in. So it's good that everything went back. You know, it's a little weird that we seem to be completely two different teams on the road and at home. But at least at home, yeah, we're averaging. Well, now I guess we're averaging like 37 points a game. But we're both going to this game. We're averaging 40 points a game at home. 40, and we're undefeated, obviously. So, I mean, I thought
So we underachieved that home.
I know, exactly, and we underachieved. You know, Godwin gets the ball down to the 1-yard line, bullcrap holding penalty. You know, getting to the red zone 5 times, scored every time, but like 3 field goals or something. Like, it was just, maybe it was 6 times and 3 field goals. But yeah, it was just, you know, again, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear everyone talk about it when you go back and look at the pressers tonight, and then or tomorrow, and then, you know, with Monday's Tuesday's Bruce Arians presser, it's going to be, you know, we're still not playing our best football. We left a lot out there, and you're absolutely right, and that's what's scary. And then when Carlton Davis comes back, and then Antonio Brown comes back, it's, you know, it's like, again, we're going to be back to where we were. It's like, well, who's going to stop this team? And if the defense can just, you know, like, get off the field every once in a while, and I think they play awesome at home. Like, they gave up a lot of points, and then they started holding teams to like 17, 10, 21, and then we had the Saints game and the Washington game, and now they went back to 10. So I understand that the level's going up and down, but I think everything across the board for the Buccaneers right now, every arrow at every position is trending up.
I agree. All right,
Yeah.
I agree. You know, going back to what you were saying with the injuries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary, I'm actually happy to say that, like, even though as battered as our secondary has been, we haven't really been beat badly. It hasn't really shown too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been
Quarterbacks haven't had big days against us.
Yeah.
We lose games, but it's not really like no one's throwing for 300 yards and going, you know, 28 for 32.
We lose games because of penalties.
Yeah.
If you recognize them, you gotta admit at least half of them are fucking stupid penalties, or half of them this shouldn't even be called. They're like, they don't even.
That's how they got their. That's how they got their field goal. Like, well, I shouldn't say that's how, but they got 2 first downs off penalties once they crossed midfield. You know, off defensive penalties, and one was offsides, and what was the other one? Sean Murphy Bunting, I think.
Yeah, the other one was a PI, I believe.
Yeah.
How they gonna say that one of our players were offside, but then when they showed the replay, he didn't even fucking move? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he was lined up. He was lined up offside.
He was lined up. Yeah. I remember that.
It's all right. We won. It's okay. We won.
We're nitpicking.
Right.
We're nitpicking. We didn't make 40 points, man.
What's going? I know we're so spoiled now, right? It's like
What the hell?
How come they didn't score 8 touchdowns?
yeah, exactly. I know what has happened to Bucks fans, man. I'm the same way. You know, if like
Still in my
if,
fan.
I mean, I spent
third and 11. What is this crap? It's supposed to be like we don't do third downs here in Tampa.
I
First
know.
down, second down. That's it.
Hey, man, we
third
don't have
down conversions. What I mean, come on.
downs.
You're not supposed to have a third down. It's supposed to be first down,
Exactly.
second down, first down.
Yeah.
And from someone who is in the control room doing Buccaneers football for like a dozen years, this is like completely crazy. And the fact that we're all out here bitching about this is fantastic. I love it.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
We
That's
tend to
crazy.
forget just a couple short years ago, we were just on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
We're winning. We're 7-3. We're at top of the division.
That's right.
By
now-
2 games.
We're now what, third place in the West? Or
And you're
NFC.
within sniffing distance of the bye again, which is the most important thing.
So
Bro, even if we do get the bye, if we don't get the bye, no matter what, we still gonna whip that ass, and we still gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Guys, really quick, let me ask you. Let me ask this: who do you guys see us? I mean, who's our biggest threat to us?
Jesus, it's so up and down in both leagues. I
But,
think
I mean,
here
like,
right now, here are the 3 teams that I think are playing the best football. I think that the Patriots, the Colts, and the Eagles are playing the best footballs right now. 2 of
Which
those
is
in the
hilarious 'cause
AFC.
two of
We beat the shit out of the Eagles. But I think in the NFC,
Our biggest threat is
our biggest threat, God,
for me, it's the Rams.
it's still the Rams for me.
I want redemption.
I think it's still the Rams.
okay for the rest of our season. As far as our season, who do you think our biggest threat is?
The Bills
Yeah.
and the Saints game, the second Saints game,
It's
just
the-
because
those are the
it's
Saints.
Sean Payton. But it's the Bills. But I think the Bills are a fraud. Like I've kind of figured that out. I won big with Indy. I took Indy straight out. I took Indy in the points. I teased Indy. I did everything with Indy, and I won them all this week.
Yeah.
The Bills beat the crap out of really crappy teams early in the year, and they haven't beat anybody that's any good since. And they're like they're a 500 team. Their defense was, which looked lights out against the Jets and the Giants. It's kind of like the Bucs. They have these great stretches, and all of a sudden, I feel like me and 10 of my friends could go out and put 21 up against them. So, So I know, but it's not our fault. But the schedule's weak. I mean, we still got Carolina twice. We got Atlanta. I mean, who else?
You're gonna play the Jets?
Yeah, we got it. The Jets are still out there. I
Their
mean,
teams are not
this is-
even relevant.
This is a I mean, look at how the schedule goes from here on out. Next week we've got Indy. That's going to be a tough game.
that's gonna be okay. I forgot about that game. That's it. That's the game.
That's a win. That's a win.
Mm.
Automatically against the Colts, that's a win. Automatically against the Saints, that's a win. Automatically against the Bills, that's a win. I
Okay.
promise.
Okay, you promised.
Alright.
Are you gonna double pinky swear promise?
Oh.
what does that mean? You promise me.
Mm.
Hey,
Yeah,
I will be very happy if the Bucs go on the road and beat the Colts. I don't care how hook or by crook. They don't have to score 40. Just get out of there with a win because of the way they've been playing on the road. I'm telling you, man, the Colts and the Patriots are the 2 best teams in the AFC right now.
Yeah,
I know.
the Patriots for sure, and the Colts with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Jonathan Taylor scored 5 touchdowns this week against Buffalo.
I know.
Yeah.
I got him in
Yeah,
fantasy.
yeah.
I know.
All right,
So-
guys.
All right.
Let's sign off here. I've been making Kyle wait forever. He's been waiting patiently.
Hey, thanks for
Thank
taking
you.
us.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah, no
boys.
problem, guys.
What's up?
West Coast Bucks.
West-
Hey, we're all here.
Oh.
Nope. Kyle, thank you for waiting. Those guys are wandering around in the garage, and yeah. I just wanted to get them up there. They look. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. Maybe some
They've
type
had-
of fire.
I was gonna say they have had too much tequila.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
Good.
How you been?
I've been busy. I've been like catching up with the games, but this is the first one for a couple weeks that I actually been able to sit down and watch the whole game.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's all right. At least I kept. You know, I mean, it was 2 losses, so I guess it wasn't too.
Oh
bad.
yeah. Okay.
right.
Well, yeah, it's your fault. There we go. Now we know why Kyle wasn't watching the games.
That's right. Get him his Miller Lite, get him a game, and Bucs gonna win.
What'd you like? What'd you didn't like? What'd you see? You can go back a couple of games or the season, so we haven't talked to you yet. So what's up, man?
I feel like tonight I saw a lot of what I would consider keys to the victory going forward. So, like, there's a lot of Tom Brady throwing to different receivers, like Steve mentioned. So there's a lot of that we need, especially with people like Antonio Brown out. The defense was actually getting some good pressure, and they were also getting some interceptions, which we also need. And, like, basically they're playing their best football, in my opinion, that they can play until we're healthy. So, like, you know, the whole next
I like that,
mentality. Everybody is playing to their best ability, and I feel like there ain't a whole lot of teams that can stop us. I am a little bit worried about Sunday, though. Like you said, the Colts are playing some really fucking good football.
And they have been for like 6 weeks.
Yes, especially with the running back getting 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, and Wentz is, you know, sort of, well, you know, surprise, surprise, a guy that actually was going to win the MVP actually doesn't stink.
Right.
You know, he got there, Frank Reich, who was
Staying
his
healthy.
offensive coordinator when he was doing his MVP season, is now his head coach, knows what Wentz can do, puts him in the right situations. He's still going to do a bonehead play every once in a while. But
And staying healthy. That's the one thing that you and I, Ren, have talked about
Right.
with Carson Wentz, is that Wentz has never been able to stay healthy. And apart from the ankle issues early on in the season, he's been able to stay healthy throughout the year as well.
they call him Mr. Class.
I will
That's
say I was a little bit weary of Gronk being in tonight. I don't know that we necessarily needed him, and there's a couple times where it looked like maybe he was struggling a little bit. I think maybe we should have gave him another week, but he looked okay, so I'm not complaining too much. But
He did look a little gassed. You know, he definitely couldn't have played the whole game, but
Yeah.
I'm glad he was there because he was a big difference maker in that game.
right. I just don't want anybody re-injured because I'm so tired of seeing the inactives list being full this year.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the other thing, Kyle, is you can't get in game shape without being in games.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, you have to. That's why it's good that on top of having Gronk, you've got OJ Howard, you've got Cameron Bray, so he doesn't have to play the whole game, and he can still get into game shape, and they can work him in slow.
You know, I really like Tyler Johnson a lot.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah,
Brady's
too bad he
mad
was
at him.
missing. I think he was missing in action today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like our depth at wide receiver, I'm really not worried. You know what I mean? Like, obviously we want our starters in, but there's not really like a huge panic if somebody goes down, except maybe if it's like Mike Evans.
Right. Yeah, you know, and but you're absolutely right. And you know, that was something, you know, Steve and I talked about after the Washington game where it's like, okay, we're all banged up in the secondary and we have all these injuries and blah blah blah, and we talked about, you know, survive and advance, and that's all we can really hope for here, you know. But this is the Washington football team. Like, you don't survive and advance against St. Mary's the Blind. Like, you beat that. It doesn't matter how many guys are out. Like, you have the talent to beat that team. And that's what was kind of different from it. But yeah, I'm with you. You know, I'm to the point now where I want to see this football team, and I need it to get here sooner than later because I want to have like 4 games, 5 games of both sides gelling with all the chambers full, you know, a full gun. Like, you know, I don't want Carlton Davis coming back 2 weeks before the playoffs start. You know, I want him coming back 5 weeks before the playoffs start. I don't want AB, you know, missing these games. I don't want Gronk missing games anymore. Now, you know, I don't want him to get injured either, but I think it's, you know, obviously I think the Bucs righted the ship this week. They're all going to be on all the pundits' tongues about, you know, one of the best teams in the NFC now. You know, are they the Super Bowl favorites? Some people are going to pick the Packers. Some people are going to pick the Rams. There'll be 1 or 2 people out there going to pick the Cardinals, and it's hard to argue. You know, we all laughed at Cliff Kingsbury about, you know, getting hired because like he knew Sean McVay. Like that was kind of how we thought he did it. He had a losing
And-
record in college, but he's gone 2-1 with Colt McCoy as your quarterback,
Yeah.
and they're putting up points. It's not like they're winning 9-4, so. It's kind of a believe it till I see it with the Cardinals type of deal. It's like they don't have any experience, haven't been there before. That type. You have to kind of like lose once or twice before you kind of learn how to win in the playoffs. So I get that, but it's really sort of a 4-team race right now, and there's I don't see anybody else that is gonna. Maybe Dallas, but Dallas is so up and down, man. Like I thought they were gonna have games where they beat people 42-10. And then they beat people 42-41 or lose games 35-38 because their defense is so bad. But their offense is going up and down, man. It's going from like 45, no points, 45, 10 points. It's like I don't get it.
9 points this week.
And the week before that, they had no points going to the fourth quarter. 2 weeks before that, like no points going in the fourth quarter. Got 2 garbage touchdowns. So. Yeah, I think that's where it's at. But yeah, I'm excited to see this team. Like I said, with the full, and you talked about, Kyle, the full roster coming on. I want to see it because I think that the defense right now is probably communicating the best I've seen them communicate all year. And I think Joe Tryon is just like starting to blossom. He had
It's
an
one of
awesome
those
game.
games that makes you think like this is how good we are, badly injured. Imagine how disgusting it's going to be when everybody is back.
Yeah, and it all comes together like it did tonight. So.
And I also made the joke throughout the week, like if you watch, like the presser after the Washington football team game, where they wanted to talk to Brady, and it was like a minute long, and he basically didn't want to answer any questions.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew in that moment, R.I.P. the Giants next week after that presser.
Right? Yeah, exactly. A lot of people thought that, and I did not. I mean, I thought it was RIP anyway, but I mean, this is something I've said a few times. It's like they're focused every week. It's like they're professional athletes. It doesn't take losing 2 games. It didn't make you mad, make you yell at your teammates a little more. But I mean, if you needed the loss to Washington to come out and beat the Giants, then you should give your paycheck back because you're not doing your job. But like the guys from the West Coast said, like I'd rather have an angry Brady than a not angry Brady.
That's right.
Because angry Brady seems to get shit done.
Isn't this kind of like last year? We kind of had a couple tough losses, some close losses going into the bye week, and then we never lost a game for the rest of the season.
We looked terrible going into the bye week. I think before the bye week.
They lost 38-3 to the Saints at home.
Right.
And then like the week before that was, I think, the Chiefs game. Yeah.
But my point is like I may have forgot some details there. I'll admit that. But my point is going into the bye week, we never lost a game last year. So like now the bye week's over, we're getting some wins. Let's keep that train and keep that going again. Let's not lose any more games. You know what I mean? Yeah,
sure. I'm with you there. But
he's 14-3. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I'll pick 14-3. Probably get a bye with that. Yeah, I like I was telling the other guy, I think everything's trending up right now. I think everyone looked good, and but also this year's been very wacky, so it's kind of week to week. And I don't mean just the Buccaneers; I mean the league in general. Like we were just talking about Dallas, about how up and down they are. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, this is it. This is the game that turned the corner. The Bucs went out and did what they were supposed to do. Now I'd like to see them go out and do what they're supposed to do on the road against a much better team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know. One fun fact, though, both times we won the Super Bowl, we lost both games to the Saints. So,
that's true.
So a Saint to the loss does not mean our season is over. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that right now. I'm gonna say we're losing to the Saints. I'm gonna put some money on it.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I think of all the games that are left, the Colts game, the Bills game, the Saints game. Those are the three that you need to be worried about. Not too concerned about the Panthers, even though Cam Newton is back, because Lord knows he's gonna take a hit, and all of
Twitter.
a sudden,
Cam
all of a
Newton's
sudden-
back. You look up his stats. He's like 9 for 16 for 91 yards, and it's
Hey,
like what?
I had a good week in DFS thanks to Cam Newton. So at least thanks in part to Cam Newton.
Oh, trust me, I heard about it. My cousin's from the Carolinas, and he's a big Panthers fan. So
Oh yeah.
But
Prodigal sons come home.
having Newton back is not a concern for the Bucs. The Falcons, they're I think a lost cause as well.
Dumpster fire again this year.
Yeah, they're a lost cause. We'll have D. Orlando Ledbetter on in a couple of weeks to talk about that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I feel so bad.
He'll be dressed all in black.
one other thing I thought about is with a typical Buccaneer season, it always feels like there's a couple dumb losses that we shouldn't lose. Now, typically you would think that it's going to be the Falcons usually, but one this year is Washington football team.
Yeah.
Is there one other game that you could think would be a dumb loss that you wouldn't expect to lose, or would that have been tonight?
Who do we got left, Steve? You have the schedule in front of you, don't you?
They have they've got the Colts on the road. That's gonna be a tough one.
That could be a loss. I think of all the games left, that's the one I would be most afraid about. But I don't think that's a dumb loss if you lose that game.
No,
so.
you're at Indy, at Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And then you're home for the Bills, home for the Saints, and then at Carolina, home for the Jets, home for Carolina.
If I had to put money on it, I would say one of the Carolina games.
Yeah. If they lose at home to Carolina, I think that's a bad loss.
We're not losing at home to Carolina. We're playing too well. It would be the game I would say would be the bad loss because we're supposed to beat them badly both times. I think the bad loss would be at Carolina. That would be the one that could sneak up on you.
Fair.
I think that the Bills are going to be way up for the game, so I think it's going to be a better game than sort of the games the Bills have lost. I think the best game we have left is Sunday. I think it's going to be the most entertaining, most nail biting.
Yeah.
This is going to, and it doesn't really matter because we have a 2-game lead in division, and I'm not a big fan of losing an AFC game and then being mad because now it drops us down to 5th in the NFC. I don't really care about that stuff right now. That's last 3 games of the season stuff to start caring about. For me personally, I mean, I know you can report on it and talk about it and say, "Oh, we're in for but as far as winning or losing games, I don't care because when the Bucs were on their bye, they gained a game in the division, and then they didn't play this Sunday, and they gained another game in the division. I mean, it was things are gonna happen. Those last 3 weeks of the season is gonna flip everything on its head. So
all you have to do is look and see that you've got a Saints game, a Jets game, and a Panthers game, and if you can win all 3 of those games, you're 8-0 at home.
Right.
It ain't hard.
Going into the season, my biggest worry was Buffalo. But
mine too.
But now, I would say my biggest worry is Sunday. It's literally the Colts.
Indy's playing the best. Now it's going to be interesting to see what kind of their game plan they're going to come out with because a heavy dose of Taylor, I don't think wins them the game. I mean, he can get 100 yards maybe, or maybe even 120 from scrimmage. Passing and rushing, but that's not going to win you a game. Well,
they're going to have used Taylor in the passing game. That's how they beat the Bucs.
I don't know. You got Devin White, man. I mean, the guy's a rocket, and he's starting to play well. And yes, I understand that he needs to quit killing his own players. But that's the thing that Devin White does that Quan Alexander never could do. They're both going to miss run gaps. They're both, going to miss a few tackles here and there. But Quan Alexander couldn't cover anybody that was a tier 1 or even tier 2 pass catching back in the NFL. Couldn't cover him. He was a complete liability. But Devin White, erases that kind of stuff. Did you see Heineke run all over the goddamn field against us last week? No. Which one of us was that?
No, that was Kyle. I think his cat was knocking shit over.
And knocks the whole thing out. Okay, he's back. We'll bring him right back.
All right, my cat's over here knocking shit over.
Hey, what's the cat?
I knew it.
That's what
I
Carney
knew
said.
it.
He's like, I think that was Kyle's cat knocking crap over. So, anyway, I think Devin White, the defensive front, and I'll tell you what, Nunez Roches had a hell of a game. It was good that he went up against Will Hernandez, but I mean, we really didn't miss Vita Vea in the running game at all. And we've played Barkley 3 times now, and that guy's like a 7th-round pick when he plays us. He ain't no first-round pick.
Well, it's like Alvin Kamara. Like, Kamara always plays poorly against the Bucs.
That's one saving grace I say for the game Sunday is, Jonathan Taylor's their strong suit, but Tampa Bay knows how to play a run defense.
Right.
And if that's one of our strong suits and that's their key to winning, that might give us a little bit of an edge. But we'll have to see.
They're going to have to hang this game on Wentz's arms more than they're used to in the past few weeks. So it'll be interesting, but, we'll talk a lot about that. We'll have somebody on from Indy to be able to tell us if they can do that or not, or that's, what he thinks or she thinks that the game plan should be. And, has Carson Wentz, or has Carson Wentz won a game with his arm this year? So, we'll find all that out. I know Quentin Nelson's hurt, so all kinds of stuff.
Looking at Wentz's last 4 games, passing yards wise, they went 41-15. Wentz only had 106 yards passing in that.
Right. Yeah.
And they beat the Jaguars 2 weeks ago. He only had 180 yards passing.
Yeah. So they're leaning heavy on Taylor.
Yeah. He had 272 yards against the Jets. They put up 45 points, but a lot of that was on the ground.
That had to be some defensive turnover, short fields. It sounds like.
Yeah,
you can't put up 45. Yeah, without short fields.
Yeah, and then 34, and then their loss to Tennessee in overtime. Wentz had 231 and 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks.
Another up and down team. I mean, Tennessee was like giant beaters, and their 2 losses are to the Jets and the Texans. Like, what is going on?
But I think one last thought I had is the last couple of years, like it's felt like we have to score 40 in order to win a game. So
maybe win a game.
So it's very nice to be like, it never feels good to give up a touchdown, but if you give up 1 or 2, it doesn't feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't feel like every possession. Because if you think about it, I think, and I'm not making excuses for the guy, but I think a lot of those Jameis Winston turnovers may not have happened if we didn't feel like we had to score every single drive.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I used to say that all the time. It's like it's a race to 40. Like, don't punt, don't look at the scoreboard, don't see what the other team has.
Don't worry about what down it is. Just get it past the sticks.
Just put it in the end zone. Like that's it. Like, don't even attempt to play any kind of strategy with a score or 2 points conversion until you hit 40 points. And when you do, look up and see if you're winning or losing. You're probably tied because that defense was so bad. And then you go from there. I mean, I was said that for like 2 years. First it was a race to 30, and the defense got worse, so I had to change it to the race to 40. I'm like, don't punt. Like, if you're past your 40, don't punt. Just keep going for it. Because it doesn't matter how short the field the defense gets. It don't matter. They're going to score anyway. Like, it doesn't matter if they have to go 40 yards or 70 yards because they're doing it. So just go for it. But,
and not electing to defer when you win the coin toss.
No, don't, Kyle, don't.
I said that because I know it's a hot button issue for you, Ren.
Yes,
you went there, Kyle. Thank God we didn't have to deal with Ren bitching about that today.
That's right.
The Giants won the toss.
That's right.
Why do you think I brought it up?
Yeah.
And we get that started.
They deferred, and look what happens, Ren. They lost by 20.
Yep. They got that. Well. Anyway.
All right. Well, you guys have a great evening. It was good talking to you, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you, Corey. Thanks, buddy.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. All right. We have Corey in Nashville, and it is now past midnight. I've got to get up in 3 hours.
In 3 hours.
In 20 minutes.
I still have to do the Bet US read, too.
All right. Corey, are you there? Corey from Nashville? Did he fall asleep? Corey, hello.
Oh,
Sleep.
yes, I'm here.
All right, hey, how you doing, man?
I walked away
In
for
the
a second.
dark.
That's cool. Don't worry about it. How are you?
I'm cool, man.
Are you pacing?
Nah. I'm actually, I'm actually practicing some Madden plays.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Hey.
what'd you see? What'd you like? Go.
Hey, real quick. Oh, what I liked, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I underestimated SMB's value to the secondary. Last
too.
time we saw this Giants team at full strength like they were today, they were going up and down the field on a competent Saints defense in New Orleans. Uh, we had no holes really in the secondary for them to expose. Like I didn't even really see them try to split, and maybe because he was coming back from injury, Saquon like they were doing before he came back from injury. And poor Saquon, man, he's what Jonathan Taylor is what we thought Saquon was going to be. Unfortunately, that's what it looks like early. I know they're both early in their careers, but whatever. You, I'm be honest, Ren, you're giving too much credit to the Colts, man. You're giving too much credit to the
We'll
Colts.
see. We'll see.
We're gonna win that. We're gonna win that game.
By how much? Easy. Okay.
We're gonna win that game. You know why? Because the focal point of their offense is contingent upon the success of their running back.
Yep, we talked about that with Kyle.
We do not have running backs getting off on us for a reason. We would sacrifice some things on the back end to stop the running games, and that's just what it is. So teams like that are built like that, they strike zero to little fear in me. Like, I don't think
we used to be like that. But the Todd Bowles realized that you can't put that many assets into stopping the running game and leave the secondary out to dry. And as soon as they came back from the bye week last year, and that changed, and let the team every once in a while get 6 yards, that's when everything started to click. So we don't put the assets into it. Now this game might be different.
We're going to
you're right. They might make Carson Wentz beat them. Like they're going to put everything in the run game and make Carson Wentz beat them. But I think the Colts is the best team left on the schedule, and they're hot. And I think they're the most. I think them and the Patriots right now are the most two consistent teams over the past 5-6 weeks.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think, and time will tell in the next 4 to 5 weeks, but I think it's going to be Carolina. I think Carolina's going to be the hottest team we play when we play them. I think they're going to surpass Atlanta, and they're going to surpass New Orleans, Nolans, however you want to say it.
Nolans.
I think they're going to surpass both of those teams by the time we play them. I think Carolina's going to end up being the better team that we play going down the stretch here.
Better than Indy this week.
I have, I live in Nashville, right? So I get to see Indy a lot. They're ass. I don't care anything about the Indianapolis Colts. Like I really we're gonna beat the shit out of Indianapolis. Like
all right.
This coming from a guy who lives in a town that lost to the Texans.
Yeah, and the Jets.
I root for a team that lost to the Washington football team.
I know.
It's and that's something that I wanted to say too. The only people that will say, "Oh, it was the Giants," are people that A, don't really care for the Bucs, or B, don't really watch football, specifically this season of football.
Yeah. So
this season of football, especially the last month and a half, there has been no guarantee wins.
Yeah.
None.
It's been crazy.
Right.
I mean,
like
when you got Buffalo losing in Jacksonville.
Dude, they scored 6 points. They're supposed to have a $300 million quarterback, and you score 6 points when the offense had 0 injuries. That was unacceptable.
And a top 10 wide receiver.
Yeah, it's just been
Stephon
a weird.
Diggs on a friggin' milk carton.
And to piggyback on some of the things of this season, one of the toughest coaches in the NFL to me is Mike Vrabel. He's like a no-nonsense coach.
Right.
And even he complained about the injuries and the players that they're missing. He didn't even mention really Tannehill's 4 interceptions yesterday. He mentioned sometimes it's just really hard to get up when you're playing with 1 foot. That's what he said today, which was kind of made me think about Tampa. And we've been playing literally the entire season with injuries. And it just seemed like that football team, things just came to a head. Like Like no Gronk, no AB, no Carlton Davis. Just
No
torn
SMB.
rotator cuff JPP, who probably shouldn't be out there.
Mhm.
And shout out. You know who the MVP of tonight's game was? Jason
Let's see.
Light in his scouting department.
Why?
From
For Stinney?
no, oh, I didn't even mention Stinney, but that's another reason why. So I'm gonna strictly stick with defense because we gave up 10 points, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
Where we really gave up 3, the offense gave up the other touchdown. And by the way, Tom Brady has thrown 3 interceptions this season. Like literally,
Yeah.
drop
All the
back.
other ones are off other people.
Dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I ain't never seen nothing like this.
I know.
Like God, 5 of his 8 interceptions have been tip
Off
balls
people's
off
hands.
our receivers. Like it's ridiculous. But anyway, the scouting department, JTS dominated
Yeah.
that game from the second quarter.
He was awesome tonight.
Devin White dominated that game. Not gonna show up in the box score, but he dominated that game. Antoine Winfield and SMB were absolutely phenomenal on the back end. Antoine Winfield showed that, honestly, man, you know, we watch a lot of football. To me, Antoine Winfield showed why he might be a top 5 safety. Like
Because of his versatility. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's
Speaking
really
of-
ridiculous.
Speaking of versatility, how about Ren's boy, the ball hawk there, Mike Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
he plays back. They put him in the nickel spot,
right.
and held his own. You know, talk about versatility. You know, we knew that Mike Edwards was a ball hawk, but I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was in coverage tonight.
I think Mike Edwards, this is how I always kind of ranked him. Like the best tackler is
Jordan Whitehead.
But you
yeah,
know,
and that
he did, to his credit. And
hello,
Jason Whitehead. Which one? The secondary?
hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I
Hello?
think he's cutting in and out.
Hello?
He was cutting in and out.
Oh,
Wait,
crap.
I hear you. Crap.
Oh, here he goes.
Oh, gonna have to move.
Oh, we
Uh-oh.
hear
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
We got you.
All right. Jeez. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your point you were making about the best tackler.
Oh yeah, so Whitehead. I always thought Whitehead was the best tackler, and then
Right,
you know
same.
Winfield was right behind him, and then
Yep.
lagging way behind was Edwards. Then it was like, okay, well, who plays the best, you know, single high? Well, it's Edwards, and then Winfield's right behind him, and
Right.
then Whitehead lags way back there. So because coming in second and almost first in both categories, Winfield would be your best safety, followed by depending on who you're playing or what you want to do. I think that Edwards has really closed that gap because of his ball hawking ability, because of his
I think he's
versatility.
closed that gap with his versatility.
Yeah.
But as far as impact and just the headiness of Antoine Winfield,
Yeah.
it's something that you can't. He does a lot of shit you just can't coach. Like
Yeah, he
and he's starting to
understands.
really-
Yeah, he understands what he's looking at, and he understands what the offense is trying to do, and he diagnoses it very quickly and gets there.
And that's why I have to give respect to Jason Lang. These are guys that he drafted, man.
Yeah,
JTS dominated that game from the second quarter on, and that
Yep.
he's right here.
yeah,
Ooh, he you know, they talk about Micah Parsons. See, Micah Parsons is making those plays, and JTS, man, he and then again, Micah Parsons has been, you know, he's been able to as well. You know, we've been kind of holding JTS back for some dumb shit that Arian said that I didn't agree with. He was like, oh well, JPP's the vet. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, play the
Right.
dude. He got a torn rotator cuff. Like, but anyway, and offensively, Finney, you made a point earlier on the cast when you said, I'm really not concerned about Ali Marpet unless it's long term.
right.
Because Stinney played so well in the playoffs. Like it was, like to his credit, Alex Kappa was he fourth round? I think he's another.
No,
guy.
he was a third. They traded up in the third to get him.
Okay, yeah, but he's another guy that we had to farm. We
Yeah,
had to go see. We had to go get him. Then we had to get him on the field once we had that guard spot became open. But tonight was a mark. tonight was an example of our greatest enemy, and it's ourselves. It's ourselves. But like,
What's
I'm sorry,
the most dangerous animal on planet Earth?
It's
It's
us,
man.
It's us. The touchdown that they get is
Yeah.
because of us.
Yep.
The
The field goal they got was because
the
of
field goal they
us.
get was because of us.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not trying to take anything from other professional teams, but damn, dude, like we are so talented, and it's when we are locked in and focused, we just show really what we're capable of. I'm going to give the Washington football team a little bit of credit. That was one of the games. That was our stinker game, like where we just didn't play well. Like it wasn't like a bunch of penalties and a bunch of turnovers. It was just like we looked lackadaisical and we didn't play well. The Saints game, right prior to that, prior to the bye week, was us. Clearly us. We act like the Saints came to Tampa and put us out the playoffs. We played on the other side of energy. Like we were doing too much that game, and it was very annoying to watch. And the Rams game, that was the game that we came in with some injuries, and that was our first real road game.
And Gronk got beat up in that game.
And Gronk that's when his ribs got popped.
Yeah,
and AB didn't play. AB didn't play at all.
Yeah, and no defense was played in that game. I think at one point,
that game has changed.
8 straight possessions each team scored in a row, and and 7 of them were touchdowns.
Dude, that game hinged on 2 plays, in my opinion. I was sitting right there in SoFi.
Jamel Dean
drop interception, and the fumble that we didn't recover.
Which one was that?
Like it happened on their second possession, on the Rams' second possession. They fumbled, and we didn't get the ball.
Oh,
like it bounced, and they were able to get it back. But the Dean interception, because that changed. You see how terrible Stafford is if he turns the ball over early. He's so terrible, he turns into Stafford Winston, need I say? Because he throws a pick 6 right after one other.
Stinson. Staffston.
But I'm excited going forward, man, because I'm gonna let you guys go. I know you've been on with the last 2 callers for a while. I try not to hold you guys up, but I do have a lot to say.
No, it's all right. I only got to be at work in less than 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm right behind you. Damn, I didn't realize it was 11:30. But
it's not. It's 12:30.
It's 12:30 for us.
Yeah, I forgot you guys are on real time. All the other time is not real time.
It's correct. I'm sorry.
That's how
when you watch TV, they say 8 o'clock Eastern time, and you got to do the math in your head. I do not. They're talking to me.
I completely underestimated, and I said it earlier, SMB's presence. And the play that really showed how important it is and how well our defensive backs are being coached, especially if you've been in the system for a while like SMB, was the play where they picked the pass interference flag up.
Yeah.
He did not panic.
Mm-mm.
He looked, found the ball, and he ran stride in stride with Slayton. So much so that, honestly, that was the NFL has to fix this. That was offensive pass interference.
Yeah.
He grabbed
his arm
and had it for like 15 yards.
You know what I'm saying? That was a interception. Like, that's how well SMB bred the play. And then Dean, who I've been very hard on, and this is the part of the coaching that I'm talking about. He's had really, really good technique after about week 3. After about week 3 or week 4. He's had really good technique, and he's been our only corner most of the season. I cannot wait until Carlton Davis comes back.
I know.
He's the slowest of the 3, but he seems like the only one that wants to play press.
Yeah.
Or
are they allowed to or whatever?
Everybody else is like 15 yards off the ball.
Yeah, Dean sort of like, which we saw in the first 2 years, which drove people crazy, was the up and down, the up and down, the up and down. He's just been solid to above average, like you said, somewhere, he was up and down first quarter of the season, but since then,
advanced analytics has him as well above average.
Right.
Well above average. And interceptions don't dictate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that, and that's all we've asked for. We sat here and watched the Mike Smith defense.
Don't remind us.
Race to 40.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Trubisky, that's right, I forgot.
Oh
threw
my
5
God.
touchdowns in the first half again.
And every time he threw the ball, somebody was wide open. I was like, I don't know.
We
what
weren't
this
even on the
coverage is.
we weren't even on the TV screen. Like
Yeah.
you're watching the feed, and there was
Dude,
there was a bear,
know
and there
what
was
that
no one
coverage
else on the
was.
screen.
I never knew what the coverage was. The Case Keenum games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We haven't asked for much as Bucs fans. We asked for solid. We
Right.
ain't asked for Jalen Ramsey. We asked for solid. I wanted Jalen Ramsey that draft, but I guess it was impossible to get him. And my last point, Mike Evans, all he does is catch touchdown passes.
That's right.
That's it. Mike Evans,
72.
and I know you guys are a little older than me, so I never saw the Leroy Selman. You know, I'm only 33. But I do know one thing about that era of Buccaneers football. It was absolutely terrible. So it's really hard for me to put him on my Mount Rushmore when his win shares just don't matter, and organizationally. I get it.
He was like when things were bad.
If you're gonna put Mike Evans on your Mount Rushmore, you have to put Leroy Selman because they had the same amount of success so far.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bucs went to the NFC Championship game their 3rd year in existence.
All right.
And he anchored
Fine.
that defense.
I didn't see him play.
Yeah.
So I'll leave him there.
Leroy was a monster.
And I'll pin that. I'll pin Mike Evans until he's done playing.
I think he belongs up there. I'm just saying if you're
Marvin.
taking Leroy down and replacing him with Mike, I mean you can do that. I'm just saying that if the reason you're doing it is because he played on crappy teams, then
it's pretty similar to Mike Evans. Okay,
yeah.
all right,
So
that's
is
fair.
Mike.
So we'll go Leroy Selman. We'll go Mike Evans. I'm with you, Ren. I don't care for Warren Sapp as a person at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I'm definitely going Derek Brooks, and then I'm going Rondé. I honestly believe Rondé Barber was our best defensive player, probably outside of Leroy, obviously, ever.
Better than
And
Brooks?
it's still a travesty
you
that he
can't-
doesn't.
Unfortunately, Corey, 99 is the
Now
best.
you see.
is the best defensive player, and this is
Oh,
and this is
okay.
from
You got
somebody
one
that
step
does
at the
not
best.
like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 99. But
I
this
just
is coming
think-
from somebody that hates Warren.
Yeah,
I do not like
Yeah.
Warren at all.
I do not either.
My thing that separates them are expectations. Like when I start to grade players, Warren Sapp lived up to expectations based off where he was drafted. He was a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Rondé wasn't supposed to be who he is. And it's still a travesty that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Every other corner that has made it since he's been eligible, he's had a better career than. And it's very annoying. And I'm not the one to count interceptions as a stat for cornerbacks to get into because look at Mike Edwards' interceptions. 2 of his 3 interceptions have been batted balls this year.
Yeah, they fell in his arms.
Sometimes that's to our franchise and his overall win. I bet his defensive win shares are extremely high if you look at his career. And he's the only cornerback in the 2020 club, or is it 2030? It's 2020. 20 sacks,
20 interceptions.
20 interceptions, and he defined the nickel. He created the nickel back position. So I just feel like he's so slept on, and it's kind of sad that he doesn't have a big name, and he gets skipped over. He'd probably make it. I can't see him not making it in the Hall of Fame this year though. Next year, that'd just be damn ridiculous. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it for me, man. Go Bucs.
All right.
Listen, Ren, you guys have given the Colts too much credit.
We'll see.
And we'll be talking around it. Well, we'll be talking much earlier than this next week.
Yes,
Thank
God.
God.
But when we're talking, it's going to be a lot of. I might be drunk. Because I'm in Nashville, man. It's like 3 hours. I'm thinking about going.
All right.
Thinking about just going up there and talking shit to you from inside the stadium.
Yeah, you do
We
it.
love
All
it.
right.
Thinking about
All
doing
right.
it. Because
All right.
We love
this
it.
game's going to be over. We're going to be chilling this game by the fourth quarter.
Like tonight, you're saying?
Like I was tonight. I tweeted it. I said, see, when you play bad teams, I should be able to pack my kid's lunch, iron his clothes, get my work stuff ready, and just be ready for the next day when you play terrible teams. And that's what I did pretty much the whole fourth quarter. I was just doing shit around the house. Bye, man. Love you guys. Talk to you next week.
All right, see you, Corey.
Good brother. All right, let's. I don't know what we got left, but I definitely want to get the love in. For
we have
our
nothing
sponsor,
left.
Well, then let me get the love in for our sponsor, BetUS.com. For 27 years, they have been paying out winners like Ren. Ren won big this week thanks to the Indianapolis Colts. I did a little 2-team parlay and was able to come out with a little bit. I took San Francisco in Jacksonville. I was like, yeah, I don't think that there's any way that I have to worry about that. And then I also I actually took the Vikings as well. So
ooh, gutsy.
Yeah. Well, that one I did it late because this was after right as I heard that Aaron Rodgers was dealing with turf toe. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings at home on that one as well. So a little 2-team parlay got me a little scratch as well, made me very, very happy. So, and then we can make you happy as well, and we here at the PeterCast can make you happy by giving you a little extra scratch to go along with it. Again, if you go to betus.com and use the promo code Pewter with the letter C and the number 125. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right below my face. That's okay. Pewter C125.
That's not right either.
No, that's not right either. So Pewter,
just
the letter
ignore
C,
what I'm doing, Steve. Just keep talking.
Pewter, the letter C and the number 125 will get you a 125% sign-up bonus. So if you sign up and throw, let's say, $100 in there, you'll have a grand total of $225 to wager. So there you go. BetUS.com. Promo code PewterC125. You bet, you win, you get paid with BetUS. All right. Because it's been an hour and 20 minutes and Ren has to get up in 3 hours.
I was hoping this would be like 40 minutes.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. It's because Richard and his crazy friends out in Los Angeles went nuts on us. I mean, we talked to them for like 35 minutes.
Yeah, they were great.
They were
Hope
awesome.
they call back again.
Yes, and thank you for the super chat as well, Richard. We appreciate that. We would appreciate it even more if you went to betus.com.
This is true.
125. All right. Get the Ren addiction. Let's get out of here.
Best place to find me is on Twitter at Ren. Nope, that's a lie. Best place to find me is on Twitter. That's PeterCast. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football. But if your take is too hot and don't want to put it out on Twitter, feel free to slide my DMs. I'll talk Buccaneers football with you there as well too.
I am at Steve Carney. We are. I'm endeavoring to get a Stephen Holder of The Athletic, who used to cover the Bucs for the Tampa Bay Times. He has been in Indianapolis now for the better part of the last 10 or 12 years, covering the Colts. So hopefully we'll get Stephen Holder on Wednesday, and we'll see what happens on Friday for this week. And, of course, we will be taking more of your calls on Sunday afternoon after the game with the Indianapolis Colts. I want to thank BetUS.com. Thank you to the Fansided Network for hosting us. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on whatever platforms, podcast-wise. We appreciate it. Leave us ratings and reviews as well. And until next time, go Buck yourself.